Hello, everybody. It's Anna from Astral Tarot. I am finally doing a walkthrough, and I wouldn't call it this a review, not at all, but impressions of the tarot of Renato Guttuso. This was, as you probably know, a gift from a subscriber, Patreon, and friend. And I mean, this is the deck that has the most incredible art. I don't see myself reading with this deck on a daily basis or even ever remotely having the feeling of knowing this deck. But it's time, I'm going to keep this in my collection. It's going to be just one of those pieces of art that I have in my home. I believe this is a rare deck and it's not something that's in print, I believe. As you hear, I don't know a lot about it, but I just want to show you and talk to you. And a little warning, it's the morning, and warning, it's the morning. I'm not fully awake yet, but you know what? I figured that might be fun actually because it's going to be an intuitive deck anyway. So let's see what it can tell us. Okay. Beautiful velvety box. And I put them in order, at least I think I did. Because some, especially the court cards are difficult to see whether it's the king or the knight, etc. You know what I mean? This is the book. Let's zoom in. Okay. Il matto, the fool. Looks like fish are swimming in a cage, in a bird cage, and birds are flying in a fishbowl. So this, to me, screams spiritual awakening and the world not making any sense. These are the backs. And you know what? I have never seen this deck online, except that I know I have seen these backs. So basically, somebody that I follow out there has this deck. But I understand that it's a deck you hardly ever see because, well, it's very rare, apparently, and very valuable. Beautiful art, see? But I mean, even though it's a tarot deck, I think it's quite difficult to read. This one is very reminiscent of a playing card. It's the Magician. There's a lot of quite graphic stuff. This is kind of, the papesse is kind of introducing us towards that, I guess. It's nice, like in the Tarot de Marseille, she has this kind of a headdress kind of thing because it reminds us of the Pope, right? There's no such thing as a papesse, actually. So, tarot was actually quite controversial regarding that. Oh, look at that Empress. I mean, I actually know a lot of you are going to love this. The colors, the fact that she's like a dominatrix kind of gal, and just the stare. I mean, I like it. So this is where it starts to get weird. I mean, this to me isn't that weird. This is weird. You see, please enlighten me, enlighten us in the comment section. Who is this supposed to be? Why is this lady like crouching down like that? It's something historic, isn't it? Or at least based on something that, well, whatever Guttuso is alluding to, if you know or think you know, please write it in a comment. Because I have a very strong feeling that this deck is also making a political statement. I mean, obviously, but I mean, a historic political statement, or maybe even current, you know what I mean? Just going the controversial way, trying to say something through art that maybe Guttuso isn't allowed to say out loud or in print. You see how some cards, only the majors, only have the Roman numeral printed and no text, and then others, like this one, it says so in the artwork, the lover. It's really beautiful. But also, it's gonna get increasingly harsh, this artwork. So this is prudence. Carefully testing the waters. The hermit, which, I mean, I don't know who this is supposed to be, but just everything about this reminds me of artwork in children's books. That's about, you know, different worlds like trolls and giants. This could be a giant in a cave. That's our hermit. I actually really like this wheel. It's as if she is escaping the hands of fate. And there's three hands, so the three fates, Moirai, however you're supposed to pronounce that. I like that. And all the colors. And she's just trying to keep moving. And it does look like she's escaping, right? She's moving away. So now we have strength. It looks like physical strength, but also maybe the hands combined could possibly be like a promise, like a bond between two people or between the people. I don't know, somehow this font makes me think of, and maybe even that, I don't know what it is, but I'm so not informed. But anyway, this part of the card makes me think of some type of, you know, propaganda. And where maybe some governments want you to think we're doing this, but actually, I don't know, it just screams wrong. And then we need a resistance. Maybe I'm making up stories. I'm probably making up stories, but there's something really powerful about this deck. I don't know what it is, as you can hear. But there's just something. That is dark. Beautiful. Arcanum 13. Okay, look. First of all, the nudity. Yes, right? The above and below scythe. Makes sense. The darkness, absolutely. The face with the closed eyes. And then maybe even like protruding breasts is like feeding, you know, the new life. It's a woman, so it's like she she has the ability to give life, and therefore she also has the right to understand death and even to hold death. This still looks like a, to me, young woman, yet she knows at a certain point her crone time is coming, and this time is going to come for everybody. So it's from her reproductive organ area, that's where we see death. I know I went a little deep in that one, but I mean, this is probably my favorite card so far, even though it doesn't have all the beautiful colors that the artist is using. Okay, we're getting into the cafe, bar, nightlife scene. Temperance, with clearly some alcohol there. And you know, her facial features are half there, half missing. And the way it was painted or drawn, it's as if we're looking through the eyes of someone who's already quite drunk. And it's getting late, but they're still there. They don't feel like leaving, even though it probably would be a better idea, because from this point in is where the mistakes start happening. I have a whole thing here, a whole story going on here, narrative, but she just pours him another drink, or her, but it's kind of screaming, just keep drinking. We'll see what happens. Now this is gorgeous, obviously. Again, naked, very expressive here with the fires, and can't really tell what type of head this is, but it does not look human. So, a therianthrope, however you say that, or, you know, the other word, the more common word, half human, half animal slash beast. It's almost as if they are fighting the snake while dancing with it. So, yeah, a lot of movement. Very nice. Tower. We definitely recognize that as the tower. Clearly setting fire to it. So, resistance, again, against the established force, or hmm, just destroying it yourself, taking things in your own hands. Star. It's nice. It's two people. I have no memory of seeing this card. Anyway, it's almost the same lady, and it's as if her dream self or astral self is telling her, look at the stars, damn it. The answer's right there. The moon, beautiful. very romantic, even though we don't know if she's just standing there enjoying the view or maybe getting away from unpleasant situation that's happening in the room. There's this artwork is just so, how do you say that? Double can have double meaning, or do you know what I'm trying to say here? It's not obvious what is meant. Sun. So this is a judgment angel coming to us with the truth. Listen. The world. Wow, look at that world burning. Perhaps that's the artist's message. Where a part of the world is crumbling, falling apart, burning, going to shit. There's still room for love. Because all of this stuff is happening at the same time anyway. All the bad is happening at the same time in our tiny little world, our planet, as the beautiful. Getting into the minors, so I checked the backs. Now looking at this, you would think it's a whole sheet, right? Where they just cut out the cards, but it's not. It's the same back on every card. So you see it's supposed to be sword pointing down. Also, you can tell in the fist, because this way it wouldn't make any sense. See that hand? And I don't know what type of system the artist was thinking of, but this looks like fire for swords to me. So maybe it's Picard inspired. I'm noticing the swords are quite light in their color scheme. And we get these types of cards. You can think of all the things this black line means, right? The division. It's interesting, it's beautiful, but I can imagine not everybody, including myself, that's why I'm saying it, would get a lot of meaning out of these types of pips every time. It's kind of, you have to rely on your tarot knowledge, and at the same time, the intuition would hit or not. So it's kind of a hit or miss. But I definitely like it. For sure, I like it. See again, some cards have words, others don't. This card doesn't have a number and this card does. So sometimes you have to count the swords and sometimes it just tells you, this is the 10. Okay, so here in the courts, I'm kind of guessing because I can't see anything, can't find anything about this deck on the internet. So I assume this is the equivalent of the Page of Swords. So it can be the Knave of Swords. Yeah. Fencing. I mean, you can get that, right? Like a student kind of thing. This, I guess, this is one with the signature. The knight. I mean, horse, knight. Very witch, ritual, magic, everything. Queen of Swords. This to me screams protection. negative magic in the sense where you send away the stuff you don't want. That's what I see, at least. It's not necessarily about attracting, it's about sending away, repelling. And somehow I guess that this soldier type guy, whatever this is, could be the king, possibly. Okay, so wands are trees, and therefore this could be air or earth or just entirely its own suit, like wood. Because you know, some cultures have the four elements, like these alchemical symbols. So that would be water, fire, air, and earth. But then I've heard some folks add wood or tree. Now, I would see trees as earth, but actually it's true. It's the connector of earth and air. You know, so saying trees are earth might be considered incomplete. Anyway, strange, abstract, but I like it. Again, not sure though how I would really read with it. Okay. I think the trees court cards are my favorite courts. Not sure, but it just, I like a full card. You know, I'm not into minimalist decks. So this, I guess, the hardworking guy. Although chopping down trees, not sure I agree with that, but could possibly be the page. I like this one though. I see this as a Knight of Wands. Okay, this beautiful Queen of Wands or batons or, you know, staffs or trees. Queen of Trees reminds me so much of the second card in El Gran Tarot Esoterico. I don't remember what that's called. It's the equivalent of the priestess. But she has a different name, but it's almost the same thing. Naked lady standing by a bunch of trees. And here, I don't know. This seemed more like the king. Yeah. Cups. Wow. Just look at that. Striking. Then we go into two. So, I mean, all these cups are empty. So again, maybe it's supposed to be a Picard system. And then, just like Esoterico Tarot, maybe that's why the Queen of Wands looks so much like that priestess equivalent. I really forgot the word. And trying to say that these cups are all empty. There's no water in them or any type of liquid. So maybe this is air. But I don't know. We do definitely see the cafe scene. And it's just people getting drunk. It's beautiful. Hmm. And then, I mean, again, I'm guessing this is the king. I don't know. Coins. You know, I love all the aces. There are three faces in every coin. See, interesting how they're aligned. So we get typical Marseille composition sometimes, but sometimes it's just, I think it's just whatever the artist felt. Definitely guessing. I don't know what this card is supposed to be, but it sure is some type of, I don't know, perhaps what the artist sees in life, or maybe it's a type of criticism. Is she on a boat? She's calling. Hmm. And then there's a coin, right? So we do know. I mean, I don't know. It it does look more like a cups card at first glance, but then it's, yeah, it's, I don't know. Boat, water, and then I'm just guessing that this fellow is the king. Who knows? Who knows? Is this the king, the page? Anyway, that's the Renato Guttuso tarot deck. I cherish this deck. I treasure it. It's very evocative, provocative, and therefore it's this type of deck. I don't think you can study it, you know. I think you can just flip through it, enjoy it, but also just read with it very, very intuitively. Read with it just what it tells you in the moment. Absorb it. Even though I guess with some pips could be more of a challenge, but maybe just keep going until you have a face card or a major and then put the reading together. Anyway, thank you so much for this deck. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. Let me know what you think of this. I know a lot of you wanted to see the whole deck, and well, there you go. I will see you all next week, okay? Much love. Bye.